Okay, so I want to demonstrate something interesting here. As you can see, the oscillator is running. Now you'll notice that the waveform is quite rough. That's because it's running at, that's because it's got pretty bad phase noise, which isn't a surprise because the design was really built with that in mind. The design was taken from the book. It's intended to demonstrate phase noise. So now, what's interesting is, you can see here's the oscillator. Now, I have my ham radio tuned so that it's near the frequency. The frequency seems to be about 11.14 megahertz. So, now if I have it there, you can see it's picking up that. I'm in the right. There. I'm holding the microphone near the radio. And you'll notice as I move my hand closer to and further away from the oscillator, the frequency changes. You can hear that coming from the radio. Now, what's interesting is that if I take and move the board, you can hear the frequency change. You can hear the sound on the radio. So what's happening is that the vibration from smacking the table, stuff like that, is being accidentally modulated into the signal being produced by the oscillator. Now, next step is going to be building an amplifier so that I can get the signal up to a usable level and then feed it into diode. I might just try biasing the diode, but yeah, it's as you can see, the scope is set to 10 millivolts per division, so we're dealing with about 20 millivolts, 20 millivolts peak to peak. And it requires 0.7 volts of forward bias to activate a diode. So the diode isn't conducting at all. We're going to have to tweak that, and then it'll go into a filter capacitor and then an amplifier to amplify the resulting voltage, and then that goes into a voltage comparator, and finally into an Arduino, which will tell us when the change in frequency has crossed the threshold. Now, on the scope, you'll notice, let me set, you'll notice that if I do this, you don't see a lot of change. Now, if I touch the tank, you'll see the change, right? But there's a change that's a change in frequency that is showing up that the radio can detect that the scope isn't showing. So but so far I'm pretty happy with the progress. Well, thanks for watching, and have fun.